Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. We are going to start a new 40 days DevOps series. In this, I would like to cover each and every topic, and as per the new 2026, I would like to cover all the topics. So as per the topics keep on changing, so I would like to cover each and every topic in this 40 days series. So yeah, thank you so much for supporting me. So daily we'll cover one topic, and it will be first few days it will be more theoretical. Then we'll start doing the practical sessions as well. So if you are interested, so if you comment any live sessions or something, so I am also interested in that. So I'm also planning for the live sessions, but just want to know your interest. So if you are interested, just let me know in the comment section. So then we can do a live sessions together, and let's learn DevOps more practically. So let's get started. So it is a day one of the DevOps series. So we in this class, in this video, we will discuss more about the what we are going to learn. So how can we like what are the topics we will cover? So what is DevOps actually? So why we should learn DevOps and what it is solving, right? So that is the biggest thing we should know before learning anything. What is the thing we are going to learn? So how it is solving the issues. So from development to deployment, understanding DevOps. So what DevOps really means, so why it exists, and how the software development lifecycle turned into a living loop. See, because the biggest issue we were facing previously in the development stage. So we were like the developers used to develop the complete application, but the deployment is an issue and testing is an issue. So to make and we create so many versions, right? So there will be so many versions and all, but we miss everything. So and it takes months to update the tool, update the application, and the deployment. Everything takes time, very time consuming. So that is the reason why we implement DevOps and then makes everything easier. So we'll learn more about this in the next steps. So let's go to the next slide here. So it won't be in complete slides or complete screen sharing. Like in the next classes, uh, when we start the projects, so that will be completely into practical sessions. Okay, so please do like and subscribe to the channel, and please comment if you are interested in the live streaming. So in this what it is series, so what we'll cover the foundations, we'll cover the build and integrate and containerize, provision, cloud, and operate. So from end to end, from foundation to operate, so everything will cover. So in the week one we'll cover foundations using like Linux, shell, networking, and Git. We'll learn these things in the first week, and in the second week we'll learn Maven, Nexus, Jenkins, and also GitHub Actions. So more important things we are going to cover in the second week. Then containerize. So how we containerize the application and all. We learn the Docker and the Kubernetes and Helm in the third week. Then the cloud. So where you are going to store your application, where you going to host your application, it will be in the cloud, right? So we'll go with the AWS because very wide platform. So we'll go with the AWS, Terraform, and Ansible. And then once we have done everything, then how can we monitor how it is its performance and everything. So in the fifth week we'll cover monitoring, security, and CI/CD. Got it? So I hope we are covering everything. So if you are like interested in any other tools, for example, we are going with the AWS. If you are interested in Azure or Google Cloud, let me know. So when we are doing the projects, we'll also do the same similar kind of projects in the Azure and Google Cloud, so that we have the hands-on experience on the other tools as well. Okay, in the monitoring also, if you want to do different tools, and the CI/CD, if you want to use any different tools, just let me know so that we can cover the tools as well. So then So the wall between the two teams. Before DevOps, it works on my machine was the whole problem. So before DevOps, so when development team they develop on their system, right? So it will working fine. Then what happens? So when they send it to the testing team, then it won't be working because the versions of the software will be different. The operating system will be different. So there are many blockages were there. So that is the biggest issue they were facing before the DevOps. So development team want to ship the new features fast because every day they want once the application is ready, is using people are using it, the customers are paying the amount and everything is fine. But every day we want to use the new features, build the application and deploy it faster. So that was not happening previously, and measure on the speed of delivery, code that runs fine locally. So it was working fine locally. So but the issue, so really touches production servers. So they won't be working on the production servers, right? They work on the what the actual application wants and how can they design and develop the application. So the functionality and everything they were working on that. What's the ops team need to be work on? So they want stable and predictable systems and measure up uptime and reliability. So how fast the application is running, what is the uptime of the servers and all. So operation teams take care of these things. So inherits code. They don't write code. They don't write code. Ops teams obviously they maintain the application, but they won't work on the code, right? So owns the pager at 2 a.m. So they want the application is running 24/7. So they don't want to the development team they develop the application, so they want our application to run, but they were working on the new features and all this kind of stuff they will be working on. But ops team have to maintain the application and keep the application running. So that's the biggest wall between the development team and the operations team. So what is DevOps really? So if we talk about the DevOps, people think that it's a tool like Docker. If you know Docker, people think that you are a DevOps engineer. So it's not just title or not just tool. So it's the a thing how we make the uh, team works or application works, okay, without any downtime. So people, process, product, and platform. So the people who are building the application, so what is the process of the application running, we'll also discuss about that. So what is the process and all. Then the product, what we are building, and the platform. So the simple definition would be DevOps is a culture and set of practices that unites development and operations. So teams build, test, and release software continuously, safely, and fast. So that is the biggest definition of the workflow of the DevOps. So teams build, test, and release the software continuously and safely and faster. Okay, so that is a simple term you need to understand. So build, test, and release the software continuously, safe and faster. The main four pillars. So every DevOps practice you learn traces back to one of these four. So the culture, the shared ownership, and the automation. So we'll do most of the things automate giving the scripts. We'll write the scripts and make the things automate. Okay, for example, if the application is it is a large application and we got huge but the application capacity is, for example, let's say it can take the load up to 1 lakh people. Suddenly, like we are running an offer and we got around 10 lakhs people to our website. So if it can't handle the load, then obviously the application will break, right? So, but you can't do that manually. You can't sit and do that manually every time. So because you can't expect that the traffic and all, then we need to automate this process. Okay, and once the traffic is down, then automatically it is to reduce the space and all, because we need to save a lot of money in the AWS. So the measurement decision backed by metrics, not the gut feel. So we need to So what are the things we need to use? So how much space we are using? Everything is based on the metrics. Sharing knowledge, tools, and that's all. So that's the like main pillars of the DevOps. So, and here is a software development life cycle. So every piece of software passes through this cycle. So, and we should know the complete process of the software development life cycle. So first we'll plan, then analyze, then we'll design application, then we develop the application with all the features. Then the testing team will test the application, then they'll deploy in the cloud, then they'll keep on maintaining the application. So these are the 7 steps we follow. So waterfall versus agile. DevOps grew out of agile. Here is a shift in thinking. So previously, one phase finishes before the next begins. Requirements locked at the start. Feedbacks arrives only at the end. So once the complete application is done, so then getting the feedbacks is the biggest blockage to make the application running and get to make it user friendly or whatever the feedbacks we get. So releases every few months or longer. So it was really tough, right, to maintain these applications and make it because it is a very competitive field. So when the application comes, other applications they keep on coming with the new what we call the new features and all. So if we can't deploy the application within a few hours or within the less time, within or one day or 2 days, then we'll lose a lot of traffic and other application will gain complete traffic there. So agile DevOps. So what we are doing: short iterative cycles, continuous feedback. Requirements evolve as you learn. Once we get the feedback, we'll start uh, evolving the application. Testing and ops happen alongside dev. So once, so what dev team will do, dev team will push the application. Okay, then testing team will test the application. If you get any feedback, they'll send the feedback to the development team, then they'll again push it, and then testing team will do, and then the ops team also keep the application running, so without affecting the uh, application. So releases daily, even hourly, so based on the development team. So if everything is fine, we can release within hour, within a day, because we are automating everything. So just remember this thing. So this is the loop we'll do on the DevOps. So plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, operate, monitor. Okay. So complete dev team and ops team. So plan, code, build, test. So from development team to testing team work is done. Then release, the release application. Then what we need to do? We need to deploy, operate, and monitor. So this is a loop to keep running the application. So with all the features, keep on adding the features and everything. So to make the application keep on running, so a dev team and the ops team will work together and make the application running. Software development life cycle meets the DevOps loop. So if we are just following the SDLC stage, then if we add the DevOps loop there, then everything will be smooth and there will be no blockage to the application, and we are not going to spend a lot of money and to the AWS or any other tools. So planning and analyze, plan, design and development, code plus build, testing, test, and deployment, release and deploy, and maintenance, operate and monitor. So we'll look at the things what we are going to cover in this 40 days for the complete plan, code and build, test, release and deploy, and operate and monitoring. So we'll discuss all these things in our next classes. So the tool chain you are about to learn in this 40 days series. So plan and code, we have discussed the plan, right? So plan and code, Git and GitHub. So then build, so Maven, Jenkins, Nexus. Then test and release, SonarQube and Jenkins pipelines. So we'll also use the GitHub actions or deploy, Docker, Kubernetes, Helm, and Terraform. For operate or monitor, we'll use Ansible, Prometheus, Grafana, ELK. So in this one, if you want to use any different tools, just let me know in the comments so that we can also discuss. So for the next classes, I'll announce what is the next class today itself. Then if you have anything you want to include in that class, if you have anything in mind, just comment that so that we can discuss about that in the next classes. Okay. So yeah, these are the things we are going to cover in our next classes, and we have the step-by-step process. So why DevOps wins than numbers. So first, deploy frequency, how often code reaches the production. So how fast we are doing. Lead time for changes. Commit to production, start to finish. Change failure rate. The percent of it depends on the percentage of releases that cause an incident. Time to restore, how fast service recovers from failure. So DevOps at scale, what is possible. So deploy frequency multiple times a day. Lead time for changes under 1 hour. Time to restore the service under 1 hour. Change failure rates 0 to 15%. So how, if for an application, if we add the DevOps, so it makes the application efficient and it is reducing a lot of cost. And then we have so many myths. If you have any myths also, just comment that so that we can discuss regarding that myth, what you have in your mind or what you are uh, uh, based on your research or based on your content. So what is your going through. If you have any myth, just drop that in the comments so any other developer also can see and answer your um, myth or question. So we can also discuss that in the end of our video in our next classes. So DevOps is just a job title. It is not a job title. It's a culture and set of practices. So DevOps means no more ops team. So ops skills matter more. They are just shared. So we use the ops and everything. So DevOps is just Jenkins plus Docker. It is not. So tools implement DevOps. They don't define it. So in the DevOps, we'll use all the tools, but tools just knowing the tools doesn't mean that it's a DevOps. Because since it is a culture, so we need a complete package. DevOps only works for startups. So every bank, airlines, and government runs it and scale today. Every application needs that because we are reducing a lot of time and we are also making it automate, and we are also reducing the budgets, the cloud budget, what they're spending. So automate everything day one. So automate follows a stable, understand process, not before. So for that to automate everything, so few things we can automate, but few things takes a lot of time to understand. So what needs to be done, because once you automate, it's keep on doing, then that you might lose a lot of money there. So in this 40 days roadmap, so we'll be going through one capstone project built incrementally across every stage below. So GitHub, Jenkins CI, SonarQube, Docker, Kubernetes, Helm, Terraform, Ansible, Prometheus, Grafana. Okay. So these are the tools we are going to use in our project. So that's about today's video. So that's about the complete class, not just class, but so in the today's video we have learned DevOps units, devs development and operations through culture, automation, and measurement and sharing. So SDLC gives us the stages. DevOps runs them as a continuous looping cycle. So elite teams deploy in hours, not months. So this is a recap of the day one. Then we are going to learn Linux basics for DevOps in the next class. So master the Linux commands every DevOps instance uses. So that's about today's video. Please do like and subscribe and share your friends. Let's join this DevOps course and we'll build the community. And then if you have anything in mind, just comment below so that we can discuss in the next classes. Thank you so much for watching. So I just asked, please do like, subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you.